Welcome back to the Literary Apothecary. My name is Kate, and today I'm here to talk about At the Water's Edge by Sara Gruen. Now, this is a historical fiction book with a little bit of romance in there, as a lot of historical fiction books tend to have. I read this book because I've read Water for Elephants by the same author, and I really enjoyed it. I love historical fiction, and it was up next on my Kindle list, so I dove right in. As I mentioned, other things I've read by this author include Water for Elephants, which was then turned into a movie, I believe, with Robert Pattinson. My general thoughts about this book was, wow, this book was so unexpected for me. At first, it was just a couple of spoiled rich Americans during World War II, but then slowly it grew into something much more. It was special to watch Maddie grow into her own self, come to her own realizations, and then take control over her own life. Despite the slow prose, this book held my attention and heart before I even knew it did. A spoiler-free description of what this book's all about. After embarrassing themselves at the social event of the year in high society, Philadelphia, on New Year's Eve of 1942, Maddie and Ellis Hyde are cut off financially by Ellis's father, a former Army colonel who is already embarrassed by his son's inability to serve in World War II due to his being colorblind. To Maddie's horror, Ellis decides that the only way to regain his father's favor is to succeed in a venture his father attempted and very publicly failed at. He will hunt the famous Loch Ness Monster, and when he finds it, he will restore his father's name and return to his father's good graces and pocketbook. Joined by their friend Hank, a wealthy socialite, the three make their way to Scotland in the midst of war. Each day, the two men go off to hunt the monster, while another monster, Hitler, is devastating Europe. And Maddie, now alone in a foreign country, must begin to figure out who she is and what she wants. The novel tells of Maddie's social awakening to the harsh realities of life, to the beauties of nature, to a connection with forces larger than herself, to female friendship, and finally, to love. Let's jump right into our call pile ratings. Our characters were realistic and filled with emotion and life. Our atmosphere and setting, the way that Gruen wrote the World War II world in Scotland was so well done. I felt every moment of that. I especially loved those moments where they had to run and hide into the bunker as planes were going overhead, not knowing whether they were friendly or enemy planes, and the innkeeper standing guard with his gun. At one point, he shot down one of the planes with a gun. It was so good. I don't know how realistic it was, but I felt it. I felt like I was there. A writing style, it was slow, and there were times when I thought of maybe giving up, but something just kept pulling me in, and by the end, I was so glad that I kept reading. Our plot. Now, reading the description and then the first probably half of the book, I had no idea how this was all going to come together, but it did, slowly with one play at a time. Our intrigue. At times, my interest did wane, but something, Gruen's writing, kept pulling me back in. Logic, it all made painfully logical sense. Enjoyment, the more I think about this book, the more that I love it. It's one of those books I just keep thinking about, and I just keep finding stuff that amazed me. I do have a spice rating for you all since there is some spice here. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. There is some spice, but it's mostly just sexual tension and or kissing. Only 1 or 2 truly spicy scenes here. And I just really enjoyed this book. I didn't know I was going to enjoy it as much as I did until I got to the very end. If you've read At the Water's Edge, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of it? As always, keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.